Sharon from The Young and the Restless is suspected of killing Heather, but there is no official confirmation yet, and Bloom's status at Y&R remains unclear. While it looks like Heather is swimming with the fishes in a river near Genoa City, so far, we don't have official confirmation that she's out at the CBS daytime drama. Yesterday, she posted an Instagram photo of herself with her Y&R family, Lily Brooks O'Brien and Michael Graziadei, to wish Graziadei a happy birthday. It appears as if many of her Y&R co-stars still follow her on Instagram. Graziadei and O'Brien also replied to her post. He wrote, "How thank you." O'Brien chimed in with "love you." Neither comment really gives much insight into what the truth may be. 8 weeks ago, she posted a photo of herself in front of the studio where Y&R films, and she was giving a big kiss. Does that mean she was saying goodbye? Or was it hello because she was back in the studio filming scenes? The point is, we don't have any official confirmation just yet about Bloom's status at Y&R+. We have lots of indications from Sharon Case and Josh Griffith, Y&R's producer and head writer, that many twists are coming. Stick with Soap 24H. We'll bring you the details as soon as we confirm them. Meanwhile, let us know what you thought about today's episode in the comments below. For 3 decades, Sharon Case has been a cornerstone of The Young and the Restless, embodying the beloved character Sharon Collins. Her journey on the show is not just a testament to her talent, but also a reflection of the ups and downs that come with being a soap opera icon. A legendary journey. Sharon's introduction to the soap world on September 14, 1994, marked a pivotal moment in daytime television. Before Case took on the role, 2 other actresses attempted to portray Sharon, but neither left a lasting impression. Case's portrayal has become synonymous with the character, making her one of the most recognizable faces in the genre. Challenges faced. Throughout her career, Case has faced numerous challenges, including moments of uncertainty that led her to famously joke, "That's it, I'm getting fired." This sentiment reflects the pressures within the soap opera industry, where job security can often feel tenuous. In a candid moment on The Late Show, former actress Monica Potter shared her own experience, humorously recounting her short-lived role as Sharon. Upcoming celebrations. Fans can look forward to a special Sharon-centric episode airing on September 27, which promises to delve deeper into her character's storyline. This episode is part of a celebration of her 30th anniversary on the show, along with fellow cast members Joshua Morrow and Michelle Stafford. All 3 joined the show in 1994, making their collective anniversary a significant milestone. What keeps her going? Despite the challenges, Case's love for her character and the show remains unwavering. "I've really grown with Sharon," she reflects, emphasizing the rewarding nature of exploring various facets of her character. Her journey has included numerous romantic entanglements, particularly her on-again, off-again relationship with Nick Newman. Fans have long rooted for this couple, hoping for a reunion despite the obstacles they face. Looking ahead, as Case celebrates 30 years in the role, she expresses excitement about the unpredictability of soap life. "You never know what's going to happen next, and that keeps it exciting," she says. This openness to new storylines and character developments showcases her dedication to the craft and the show's legacy. Sharon Case's potential departure from The Young and the Restless would indeed be a significant loss, not just for the show, but for its devoted fan base. Her journey from uncertainty to becoming one of daytime TV's most beloved characters is a testament to her talent and resilience. As fans await the upcoming episodes and celebrate her milestone, one thing is clear. Sharon Case has made an indelible mark on the world of soap operas. Stay tuned for more updates, and don't forget to like and subscribe for daily content. We know that something bad is coming on The Young and the Restless, like really bad. Like, if we had to guess, something so terrible and heartbreaking that it's going to leave somebody dead. That bad. And what comes afterwards may be even more of a jaw-dropper. As we've already seen, Sharon, off her bipolar medication and being egged on by her subconscious manifestation of longtime tormentor Cameron, has surrendered to the grief and rage that she still feels over daughter Cassie's untimely demise, to the point that she's been moved to poison the whiskey at Daniel and Heather's place. What's more, Sharon's gotten caught leaving by Heather herself. Next, a series of shocking events will further connect Sharon to Daniel's family, including Phyllis. Executive producer / head writer Josh Griffith tells Soap Opera Digest. The years of hurt feelings and anger between these characters will reach a boiling point and take everyone on an unexpected ride. The question is, will the finish line of that ride leave the longtime rivals with a better understanding of one another, perhaps more empathy? Or when their mutual loathing reaches a new high, will it just keep on rising? Honestly, we didn't think their animosity toward one another to get any more intense than it was following Cassie's death, when Nick was straying from Sharon to seek sexual healing with Phyllis. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Sharon Newman will have a big decision to make. After Sharon does some soul-searching at Cassie Newman's grave, she'll have to figure out if she can go through with the rest of her cover-up. It was hard enough for Sharon to clean up the crime scene and dump Heather Stevens' body in Y&R's September 26 episode. The whole experience was traumatic, so will Sharon really be able to keep her mouth shut about what happened? If Sharon does manage to pull herself together and stick to Cameron Kirsten's plan to hide all this, it won't be long until suspicions start to swirl. Daniel Romalotti Jr. knows Heather wouldn't just abandon her family without warning. It's true that Heather wanted to leave town, but she ultimately relented on Daniel's decision to stay in Genoa City. Heather wouldn't bail on Daniel, and especially Lucy Romalotti, so there's no way they'll believe she left willingly. The cops should investigate Heather's disappearance, but that may not be good enough for Daniel. Of course, Phyllis Summers may view the police as incompetent as well and take charge of her own investigation. In fact, this seems like a good opportunity for Phyllis and Daniel to play detective together. Perhaps Daniel and Phyllis will team up to find missing Heather themselves, but the results of their investigative efforts could obviously be quite tragic. Phyllis and Daniel may suspect Sharon had something to do with this before following some terrible clues. After all, Daniel and Phyllis are sure to find it unsettling that Sharon vanished right before Heather did. Once Sharon resurfaces and Heather remains MIA, Phyllis and Daniel may fear Sharon is the reason why. The truth about Heather's fatal outcome is sure to hit Daniel hard down the road. Daniel may feel responsible for not keeping Heather safe, especially since Sharon's beef was really with him anyway. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Phyllis and Daniel could join forces for some devastating discoveries, so stick with us for predictions on the crushing drama and updates on any Heather-related news. The Young and the Restless spoilers hint that Sharon Newman's current storyline is about to climax in Genoa City this week, with a special episode on Friday, September 27, honoring her 30 years on the show. Actress Sharon Case recently provided a preview of sorts while talking to Soaps.com. She notes that her first reaction after reading the script was, "How am I going to do this?" So fans should brace themselves for quite the ride over the next few days. Case goes on to note that when she saw the special anniversary script, she was on every page, and while taping the show, it was almost a little scary. Viewers were initially relieved during the Wednesday, September 25 show when Sharon decided against poisoning Daniel Romalotti after breaking into his condo and placing an unknown substance in his whiskey. She ended up pouring the alcohol down the drain and went against Cameron Kirsten's wishes to kill Daniel so that she could finally get justice for Cassie Newman's death. Despite the lack of meds, Sharon was thinking straight when she realized that hurting Daniel would not help her grieving process, it would add more pain to those around her. Of course, just as she was about to leave, she ran into Heather Stevens, who was coming home after a long day out. Both Heather and Sharon looked shocked to see each other. However, the shocking part came during the Thursday, September 26 show, when Sharon blacked out and seemingly murdered Heather. She even quickly cleaned up the crime scene and dumped Heather's body over a bridge into the river. Still, was this a hallucination, a bad dream, a terrible fantasy? If axing Heather wasn't real, could there be a plot twist to this storyline? Maybe Sharon snaps out of whatever realm she is in, and something crazy happens to her. There's always potential that this story shifts, and Heather accidentally kills Sharon trying to defend herself, or Sharon ends up in a car crash as she's running from police/loved ones. It'll be interesting to see how Sharon's anniversary show will roll out. After all, if Sharon really ended Heather during the Thursday, September 26 episode, it would be more than odd for soap to turn around with a tribute episode for Sharon. Will they spotlight what she's overcome or all the mistakes she's made in the past? Fans can recall a special show surrounding Colleen Carlton circa 2009 when she was kidnapped by Patty Williams. It seemed as if Colleen was going to survive the ordeal when the rug was thrown out from under fans, and she ended up dying. The plot twist completely caught viewers off guard. So could it be that this special episode will reflect on Sharon's past in GC as more of a memorial piece? Could Sharon end up dying this week? Could Case end up leaving the show? Fans were in an uproar earlier this year when Sharon had no real storyline and wasn't appearing on canvas as much as they would have liked. Perhaps Sharon was just placed on the back burner for a short while. After all, Jordan's storyline was hot and heavy, dominating the canvas at the time. Did Sharon Case want to take a step back from the soap? Maybe Sharon Case is ready for a new chapter or to take a breather from the show. As Sharon's storyline has caused such a buzz among viewers, the plot twist of Sharon's demise would certainly be a major surprise. The Young and the Restless spoilers remind fans to always expect the unexpected, so it'll be interesting to see how Sharon's current story ends and what exactly happens during her special episode. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. The Young and the Restless Mark Grossman often posts photos and videos of his adventures, and his latest one had him landing near Amish country in Pennsylvania. The CBS soap actor once again gave his followers a glimpse inside his trip to visit family, and from the sounds of things, it had been quite some time since he'd been back to Parksburg. The Grossman roots run deep here in southeastern Pennsylvania, the actor shared. After 18 years away, it sure is great to be back. The first pic showed him standing on a gravel driveway in front of a barn as an Amish girl walked in the background, and in the next, he was surrounded by what appears to be his family. A video captured a field filled with grazing cows as he drove through the countryside. There were shots of him in a barn, at an auction, in a tractor, another video of horses plowing a field, and the last pic was a framed crochet piece that read, "I will build myself a farm." Fans loved seeing Grossman out of his daytime element, but one saw a little bit of Young and Restless in his post, as Carrie Howard commented, "Like Hope's farm," with Kimberly Smith replying, "OMG, yes." And we too enjoyed getting a peek at the actor on the East Coast, and look forward to seeing where he heads next. We especially enjoyed the photos and videos of Grossman's trip to Montana back in July. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of September 30, 2024, are here. Next week, fans can expect Sharon Newman to snap. Meanwhile, did Sharon really kill Heather Stevens, or will there be a clever twist? Plus, Audra Charles retaliates. Elsewhere, Chelsea Lawson finds her life in chaos over her romantic mistakes. Keep reading to find out what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. The Young and the Restless spoilers Sharon Newman snaps. Y&R spoilers for the week of September 30 reveal that Sharon killed Heather in the episode that aired on Thursday, September 26, 2024. However, did Sharon really do it? The screen looks fuzzy and blurry at certain points, so maybe that means Sharon passed out. That could mean this is another terrible nightmare or maybe even a hallucination. While everything was very detailed and very graphic in that episode, maybe it was to steer us in the wrong direction. Y&R spoilers, Heather Stevens mystery. If Sharon really did kill Heather, how long until someone finds the body? How will Sharon handle being interrogated by the police? Could Sharon have left behind evidence until the body is found, though people might not realize something terrible has happened to Heather? Daniel Rumalotti juror Michael Grizzady might be worried about Heather, but Sharon packed a bag, so that could throw everyone off for a bit. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Audra Charles retaliates. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of September 30 reveal that Audra will start to come up with her revenge plan. Audra isn't going to let it go when Kyle Abbott ratted her out to Victor Newman. However, Audra needs to be careful. If she goes too far, then she could get canned from Glissade rather than Kyle. In fact, Audra could decide to target Kyle personally. Kyle and Summer Newman have finally resolved their disagreements and custody issues. Summer and Kyle are actually getting along right now, so Audra could cause problems there. Summer will always be on guard about Audra, but what about Claire Grace Newman? Could Audra target Kyle's newest love interest? Y&R spoilers, week of September 30, 2024. During the week of September 30, fans can also expect Victor to continue plotting against Billy Abbott. Sally Spectra and Billy will have another bonding session. Although Billy could give Chelsea another chance, could there be a twist with Sally? Speaking of Billy, Phyllis Summers will try to rein in the hurricane at Abbott Chancellor. Phyllis needs to tread carefully, though. If Phyllis pushes too hard, Billy could fire her too. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of September 30, 2024? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. The Young and the Restless scoop for Thursday, September 26 reveals Sharon Newman won't remember killing Heather Stevens. Y&R spoilers tease the show will open with a scene of Sharon's vehicle on a bridge above the river. She'll close the trunk and driving away crying. Then viewers will see what happened 3 hours earlier. Heather will ask Sharon what she's doing there. I was waiting for Daniel. He got called away, but he told me to wait here for him, she'll say. But Heather will accuse her of lying. She'll say Daniel Rumalotti definitely did not tell her to wait. In fact, he had dinner with his mom and sister and is currently with Lucy Rumalotti. Sharon will try to leave, but Heather won't let her. Why are you in my apartment? Heather will ask. What do you want? So Sharon will make up another lie, saying Daniel called the super to let her in. But Heather will say Daniel didn't tell her any of this, and she'll start to call him. Okay, Sharon will shout. I didn't talk to Daniel. She'll say she messed with the lock because she wanted to tell Daniel to leave town. Y&R Daily Scoop, Heather says Daniel didn't kill Cassie. You don't know what it's like, seeing Daniel again, seeing his face again, he killed my sweet baby girl. But Heather will say Daniel didn't kill her, Cassie was driving the car. There is a pit in my stomach every time I see his face, and I see him everywhere I look, Sharon will reply. It's a big wide world out there, why can't you all just live somewhere else? To be completely honest, you scare me with your rage and your vindictiveness, she'll add. The only thing you're probably actually regretting is pretending to apologize to us. Then Heather will find a shard of broken glass and ask Sharon if she did it. But she'll lie and say it must have been like that before she got there. So Heather will say maybe she should just let the police handle it and she'll grab her phone. Sharon will ask her not to, and she'll knock the phone out of Heather's hands. You're sick, Sharon, Heather will tell her. Sharon will ask her to let it go, but Heather will grab her phone from the floor. Sharon will push her and Heather will fall to the ground, but she'll open her eyes and tell Sharon she's out of her mind. In the next scene, Sharon will wake up on the couch and she'll see Heather lying on the floor. She'll lift up her head and it'll be covered in blood. Heather won't have a pulse and Cameron Kirsten will tell her the only thing to do right now is to clean up this mess. Figure out how to make Heather disappear. Young and the Restless scoop. Sharon asks for her forgiveness. Sharon will want to call the police, but Cameron will say they'll put 2 and 2 together. She'll say she can't remember what happened. She was alive and she was staring at me, and she told me I was out of my mind. Cameron will tell her Daniel and Lucy will be home any minute and she needs to get to work. Heather's phone will ring and Sharon will pick it up and see it's Daniel calling. So she'll grab a sheet and wrap Heather in it. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, she'll tell Heather. Then she'll wrap her up in a blanket and clean up the blood and glass shards off the floor. Sharon will drag Heather's body to the stairwell, down the stairs, and place her in the trunk. She'll go back upstairs and get rid of the rest of the evidence. When she's back in her car, she'll tell Cameron she just wants this night to be over. One more stop and then you can go home, he'll tell her. So she'll stop her car on a bridge and take Heather's body out of the trunk. Please forgive me, she'll say as she dumps the body over the side into the river. Then she'll get back into her vehicle and drive away, screaming and crying. Finally, Sharon will head back to the motel, sit on the bed and weep. God, what have I done? Cameron will tell her she's going to have to accept this. How can anyone accept this? She'll ask him. He'll tell her it's her private hell and it needs to stay that way. If you don't, you lose everything. Your freedom, your family, and your life. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. The young and the restless Mark Grossman often posts photos and videos of his adventures, and his latest one had him landing near Amish country in Pennsylvania. The CBS soap actor once again gave his followers a glimpse inside his trip to visit family, and from the sounds of things, it had been quite some time since he'd been back to Parksburg. The Grossman roots run deep here in southeastern Pennsylvania, the actor shared. After 18 years away, it sure is great to be back. The first pic showed him standing on a gravel driveway in front of a barn as an Amish girl walked in the background, and in the next, he was surrounded by what appears to be his family. A video captured a field filled with grazing cows as he drove through the countryside. There were shots of him in a barn, at an auction, in a tractor, another video of horses plowing a field, and the last pic was a framed crochet piece that read, "I will build myself a farm." Fans loved seeing Grossman out of his daytime element, but one saw a little bit of young and restless in his post, as Carrie Howard commented, "Like Hope's farm," with Kimberly Smith replying, "OMG, yes." And we too enjoyed getting a peek at the actor on the East Coast, and look forward to seeing where he heads next. We especially enjoyed the photos and videos of Grossman's trip to Montana back in July. He needs to manipulate someone or steal a baby, suggested the actor. It's been a while since the young and the restless had Adam plotting to blow up his entire family, and I am enjoying it right now, portrayer Mark Grossman recently told Soap Opera Digest. I'm enjoying the dynamic with Adam and Victoria, and the kind of light side with Adam and Sally. And Adam and Victor are getting along, and so are he and Nick. But, yes, there's a but. Of course there's a but. But I'm always like, I need to do something bad, Grossman admitted with a laugh. It's been too normal. Word up to the actor, one of Soap's all-time best recasts, if you ask us. His complicated character would manipulate someone or steal a baby. Do something true to his conniving form, he said. It's way more fun to stir things up. That's not a complaint on Grossman's part, mind you, just a little confession, if you will. For right now, I'm enjoying Adam not being at odds with everybody in town, so I'm leaning into it, he said. But I hope it doesn't last too long. It's more fun to do the conflict stuff. Today on The Young and the Restless, Phyllis has news for Daniel and Summer. Nick's fears about Sharon intensify, and Cameron and Sharon have it out. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. At Sharon's place, Nick enters and calls out for her. Faith appears and says she's not there. She says she's left voicemails, but there's no response. Nick hasn't heard from her either. Faith is trying not to be terrified, but this is so weird. So not right. Nick hugs her. He tells her they have to trust her mother and believe she's doing what she has to do to get through this and come back to them. At Daniel's apartment, Sharon lurks around in the dark and turns on a lamp. She returns to the whiskey and poison, and Cameron asks what she's waiting for. Let's do this. She says this is wrong. Cameron tells her this is what they've been working toward. This is the easy part. Sharon looks at the door. Cameron tells her she can go after she pours the poison into the whiskey bottle. Word will get out that Daniel's dead, but she will have the satisfaction of having taken control. She will have decided what makes her happy. It will bring her peace. The solution is right there, close enough to touch. At Society, Phyllis and Summer arrive to meet Daniel. He needles them about not being on time. Daniel says he's trying to find a job. Phyllis thinks things will be going great for all of them soon. They question her, and she pleads with them to just let her be happy spending time with her two favorite people in the world. Phyllis says she's buying and orders a bottle of the finest champagne. Daniel and Summer are freaked out. Phyllis doesn't care if they tease her and keeps gushing. Summer asks, "What's going on?" Phyllis doesn't want to talk about her and asks about Harrison. Summer says everything is great. Phyllis asks about Daniel, who says Heather thinks they should leave town and get a fresh start. Phyllis asks, is this because of Sharon? She hopes he's kidding and rants that she's trying to be understanding because she knows he has issues. But I'll be damned if I will lose my family because of Sharon and her constant drama. Phyllis keeps ranting until she picks up her phone and tries to call Sharon. Summer tells her to stop and asks Daniel, "Are you pleased with yourself right now?" He smirks, kind of. Phyllis learns they're not moving and asks how he could do that to her. She urges him to trust her with Sharon. He needs all the help he can get, and no one knows that woman like she does. Daniel tells his mother that the blonde apologized and warns her to stand down. He mentions boundaries and she mocks him. She lives big, and it's always worked for her. Summer giggles. They decide to celebrate, just the three of them. Phyllis teases, "You're my favorite son, by the way." Summer tells her brother she's glad he's sticking around. More, Allison Lanier gets candid. At Daniel's place, Sharon picks up the poison and says, no. Cameron tells her to think about how easy this is. She'll get to go back to the woman Nick will fall in love with all over again. Daniel should have died, not Cassie, and it's time to balance the scales. Do it, Sharon. Pour the son of a bitch's final drink. Sharon puts the poison down and frets that she hasn't thought this through. What if Heather drinks it, or Lucy, who has gotten into her parents' alcohol before? Cameron sees that Daniel didn't think about that before the accident with Cassie. Sharon warns there will be repercussions. He rages. What about the repercussions from what Daniel did? He reminds her how she watched Cassie take her last breath, and there was nothing she could do. Sharon tells him, stop. Cameron knows it's still just as raw. All those nights grieving alone with Nick nowhere in sight. I feel what you feel, Sharon. We both know that you lost part of your soul when Cassie died. Now is your chance to get it back. You have the opportunity to finally lay your little girl to rest in peace. Don't let her down. Sharon unscrews the cap on the poison and grimaces. She puts a few drops into the whiskey. Cameron whispers, there you go. After placing the cap back on the bottle, Sharon puts it back as Cameron tells her, "Good job." She freezes and Cameron warns she needs to get out of there. "Pull yourself together and let's walk out of here without leaving a trace. Then you're home free." Sharon closes the liquor cabinet and heads for the door. En route, she spots a framed photo of Heather, Daniel, and Lucy smiling together. She grimaces and flashes to Daniel apologizing to her for the role he played that night. Sharon picks up the framed photo and looks around. Cameron has disappeared. More, Amy Lewis returns to Y&R. At Society, Summer tells a cute story about Harrison dressing himself in the dark. She wishes Marchetti had a kid's line so she could put him in the campaign. Phyllis muses, "Not if I steal him for Abbott Chancellor first." Her kids gawp. "What?" She tells him she's the new COO of Abbott Chancellor. Clearly unsettled, her kids unenthusiastically reply, "That's great." Phyllis thinks this has to do with chance, but Summer says it's not. They're concerned about her history with Billy. Phyllis says that's in the past, and it's what makes them so amazing. They know each other so well. We're much wiser than before. She's so happy about this and wants them to be too. Daniel says of course, but they don't want to see her get hurt. Phyllis says everyone is expecting them to mess up, which is pushing them to be great. She's so excited for the future of the company and pleads with her children to be excited for her. Daniel makes a toast to the corporate queen and they clink glasses. Phyllis tells her son he's working on getting him hired too. He thinks it's a dead end, but she says it's wide open. She confides that Billy has a deal in the works that will leave things wide open for a game designer like Daniel. She wants to celebrate more and suggests dessert. Daniel has to go get Lucy, who is doing community service at the GCAC. He kisses his loved ones and leaves. At Daniel's place, Cameron reappears and yells at Sharon, "We've got to get out of there." Looking at the family photo, she cries that Daniel really is sorry about what happened. Cameron hollers that he moved on without missing a beat and has done nothing with his life. He's a waste. Imagine what Cassie would have done if she lived. Sharon cries, "I have dreamed of it." Cameron says that should have been her reality, but Daniel took that away from her and Cassie. This was meant to be. It won't be painful, not like what Cassie had to endure. Daniel will barely feel a thing. Sharon imagines Daniel dead on the floor after drinking the poison and Heather and Lucy finding him. She cries, puts the photo down, and turns to look at the cabinet with the whiskey in it. At Sharon's place, Nick tries to comfort an upset Faith. She says she has something to tell him and shares that Adam found her crying in the park. He was kind and knows her mom's history, so she talked to him about it. Nick tells her that he and his brother are in good place these days, and he did help Sharon in the past. Faith says he hadn't been in touch with Sharon, but he advised her to trust him to bring her mom home. He believes if anyone can help her, it's you. More, was Hillary faking her death? At Society, Phyllis tells Summer how she convinced Billy she was the only choice for COO of Abbott Chancellor. She's going to take it straight to the top. Summer remarks on her modesty. Phyllis says it's called self-confident. She likes to think that Summer is the same way because of her. Summer admits she's sometimes been a role model and inspiration. Phyllis thinks Daniel's inspired by her too. When he spiraled and lost everything, he came home and, with her help, turned things around. Summer makes a face, Oak. Phyllis states that she's a mom, and that's what they do. They sacrifice for their kids and lift them up, and kick the ass of anyone trying to push them down. At Daniel's place, Cameron gets in between Sharon the whiskey cabinet. She protests that she won't take Daniel away from Heather and Lucy the way Cassie was taken from her. That would make her the same as him, only worse. This is murder. She retrieves the whiskey, and Cameron hollers that this is justice. He reminds her, all of his is you. Cameron intones that she knows deep down inside that this is her only way out. More, Hunter King's new leading man. Sharon yells at Cameron that killing Daniel is no way out. She would never escape the pain and guilt. This will not bring Cassie back. She thought the world of Daniel. If she murders him, she would never forgive her. I'm pouring this out. As she and Cameron struggle over the bottle, Sharon knocks over a tray of glasses and they smash on the floor. At the club, Daniel congratulates Lucy on completing her first shift of community service with a dessert. He gets her smiling and asks her how it went. She says she won't be complaining, especially in front of her mom. Daniel says Heather loves her, she's just trying to make sure she grows up to be a responsible adult. They discuss starting a whole new chapter in Genoa City. Lucy wonders why he doesn't seem excited. At Daniel's apartment, Sharon puts the now empty whiskey bottle back in the cabinet. She tells herself she has to clean up the broken glass and make this right. Grabbing the tray, she starts piling the broken shards onto it. Cameron rolls his eyes and tells her to stop. Since when is being weak and a coward doing the right thing? If she walks away now, she'll be walking away from everything she's always wanted since the day Cassie died. Nick will want nothing to do with her. She'll lose him forever. Maria and Tessa arrive at Sharon's place, and Faith is disappointed they're not her mom. She won't be able to sleep until she walks through that door. Faith goes to the kitchen, and Nick says he's blaming herself. Maria thinks he's doing the same thing. Tessa says we should give her the benefit of the doubt. Nick reiterates that she hasn't been herself. I'm afraid that if we don't find her soon, whatever's going on with her could get worse. At the club, Daniel tells Lucy that he spoke with Sharon, who apologized for how she's been acting and seemed sincere. Lucy's relieved and thinks that if Sharon's chill, Faith must be too. She wants to give her a call. Daniel tells her to slow her roll and leave things alone for a while. They've got all the time in the world to sit back and see how things play out. He sees nothing but good things ahead. More. Victor Megatwist leaves *2 feeling betrayed. At Daniel's place, Sharon tells Cameron she knows what she's doing and complains about his presence. He hollers that his thoughts are her thoughts. Sharon says she'll get help and will be fine with the help of her family. You brought out the very worst in me. Cameron argues he gave her the courage to do the one thing she always wanted. Sharon fumes. Go away. Cameron disappears. Sharon puts the tray of glass into the trash can and places the tray back on the counter. She's letting herself out when she comes face to face with a startled Heather. Breaking news. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Nick locks up Sharon, brings Alan in to treat her. In a shocking turn of events on The Young and the Restless, Nick Newman takes drastic measures to protect Sharon from herself, leading to a dramatic confrontation that will have fans on the edge of their seats. As tensions escalate, Nick finds himself forced to lock Sharon up for her own safety and brings in Alan to provide the help she desperately needs. Faced with Sharon's declining mental state and her unpredictable behavior, Nick feels he has no choice but to take extreme actions. In an emotional and tense scene, he locks her away to prevent her from making further impulsive decisions that could harm her or those around her. This decision highlights the lengths Nick is willing to go to protect the woman he loves, even if it means temporarily imprisoning her. To provide professional help, Nick enlists the expertise of Alan, a respected therapist known for his work with troubled individuals. Alan's arrival brings a new dynamic to the situation as he assesses Sharon's mental state and works to uncover the root of her issues. The interactions between Sharon and Alan will be pivotal, shedding light on her struggles and offering insight into her psyche. Emotional repercussions. This intense storyline will undoubtedly lead to emotional turmoil for both Nick and Sharon. Nick's actions may create feelings of guilt and resentment within Sharon, who might view his decision as a betrayal rather than an act of love. The strain on their relationship could escalate as they grapple with the consequences of this drastic measure. Impact on the Newman family. The implications of this situation will extend beyond just Nick and Sharon. The entire Newman family will be affected as they learn about Nick's decision to lock up Sharon. Family dynamics will be tested, and alliances may shift as they all navigate the emotional fallout. What's next? As the storyline unfolds, viewers can expect a mix of drama, tension, and heartfelt moments as Sharon undergoes treatment and Nick wrestles with the moral implications of his actions. Will Alan be able to help Sharon find her way back, or will this decision create irreparable rifts in their lives? Stay tuned for upcoming episodes of The Young and the Restless, where the stakes are high and the path to healing is fraught with challenges. Will love triumph over adversity, or will this situation lead to further complications in Sharon and Nick's relationship? The answers are just around the corner. Phyllis is seeking a position at Abbott Chancellor. The Young and the Restless spoilers are ramping up the excitement, with another standalone episode added to its collection. This week, Sharon Case, who plays Sharon, is getting her well-deserved time in the spotlight. Why? The actress will be marking a remarkable 30 years on the show. Fans can catch this episode on September 27. But there's even more to look forward to, especially if you're a Phyllis fan. Read further. A Phyllis-centric episode is on the horizon. The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest that Michelle Stafford, aka Phyllis, will also have her own standalone episode. It will air on October 18, but the juicy details of Phyllis' episode remain under wraps. However, it's expected to be a nostalgic ride through her most iconic moments on the show. Moreover, we can anticipate scenes showing her notorious blackmailing of Brad Carlton. Phyllis tried to sway his vote on the Newman board. And let's not forget her epic confrontations with Sharon and Drusilla Winters. The unforgettable incident led to Drusilla falling off a cliff during a brawl, never to be seen again. Furthermore, Phyllis has always been obsessed with Danny, which is evident from her first appearance in 1994. She even went to extreme lengths, including lying and even murder, to win his affection. More recently, her obsession with Billy raised eyebrows in a September 19 episode. Finally, her dramatic moment in 2023 was definitely one for the book. Phyllis faked her own death during the show's 50th anniversary celebration, so brace yourself to take a trip down memory lane. Now, let's talk about her history for a bit. Phyllis first hit the scene on October 18, 1994. She was a devoted groupie of fictional rock star Danny Romalotti. Additionally, she stirred up quite the drama when she claimed to have given birth to Danny's son, Daniel. This led to Danny marrying Phyllis out of obligation. It sparked a fierce rivalry with his ex-wife, Christine Blair. Throughout her time on the show, Phyllis has had complicated relationships with several men. These include Jack Abbott, Nicholas Newman, and Billy Abbott. So, mark your calendars for November 13, as the show will celebrate its milestone 13,000th episode. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, Sept 25, 2024, reveal Sharon slipping further into darkness under Cameron's influence. As she risks the lives of Phyllis, Lucy, and Summer, Nick and Mariah rush to save her before it's too late. Meanwhile, Phyllis takes charge of a situation that may involve helping Billy or stepping into Sharon's dangerous scheme. Don't miss Wednesday's episode as Sharon's reckless choices push her closer to the edge and lives hang in the balance. Read on to find out more about it. Sharon's poison plot. In the upcoming episode of The Young and the Restless, Sharon will sink deeper into darkness with Cameron influencing her decisions. It appears that he will urge her to cross a critical line and persuade her to poison the whiskey as intended. If Sharon follows through, she won't be able to predict who will actually drink the poisoned whiskey. She will hope that Daniel will be the one to drink it. However, there are chances that someone else might inadvertently consume it. Heather reportedly dislikes whiskey, which might keep her safe from harm. In contrast, Lucy has been drinking more lately and might easily take some whiskey from Daniel's cabinet. Phyllis and Summer could also be in danger if they decide to share a drink with Daniel at his home. Regardless, Sharon will stay poised to take an action that could endanger more people than just Daniel. Phyllis makes a bold move. Meanwhile, Nick and Mariah will hold a strategy session, growing increasingly worried about Sharon. Both of them will collaborate to devise a plan to support Sharon before the situation escalates. Unfortunately, it's already too late, as Sharon is caught up in a break-in and poison scheme. In tonight's Y&R episode, Phyllis will take control of the situation. Her action will involve a daring move to help Billy, while also connecting to Sharon's storyline. The show shared an image of Sharon appearing panicked while clutching an empty whiskey bottle. So they could be suggesting that she may have second thoughts when she returns to the penthouse this week. She might discover that the whiskey is missing and realize she can't reverse her actions. This could mean Lucy will drink it, or Phyllis will intervene and pour it out before she gets the chance. Nevertheless, Phyllis will assert control over the situation, and will keep updated on any significant developments in their connection to Sharon's plot. Sharon's story careened toward a climax this week when the young and restless heroine wound up in Daniel's apartment with a bottle of poison and an infuriated Cameron pushing her ever closer to the point of no return. And just when she'd fought against her worst impulses and won, came the twist that sent hearts plummeting into the stomachs of viewers everywhere. Sharon, about to make her escape unnoticed, came face to face with Heather. Calling this a disaster waiting to happen is an understatement, and the outcome will be truly shocking. Heather and Sharon were already on the outs after Faith and Lucy's accident. So much so that Daniel's live in love wanted to up sticks and start over fresh somewhere far away from Genoa City. This after a series of run-ins with a snappish and sometimes scary Sharon all over town. As young and restless viewers are well aware, Sharon's meds are messing with her head to the extent that her dead ex-stalker has taken up residence there, coaxing her to do the unthinkable. Cameron proved to be persuasive enough that she did a break and enter, and actually put poison into Daniel's whiskey bottle in an attempt to take his life. Cam promised that this would lead to all manner of rainbows and sunshine, not to mention a reunion with her ex-husband Nick. But once the deed was done, Sharon seemed to come to what was left of her senses. A happy family photo stopped her in her tracks and laid on the guilt, making it clear to her what she was about to become responsible for doing. Sharon did the right thing and poured out the poisoned whiskey, but with Cameron still riding her relentlessly, managed to knock over a tray of glassware and smash it all over the floor. This caused a downright dangerous delay. Sharon shoveled up the shards and was making her way out the door when she ran smack dab into Heather, who was coming home from her job interview. Both women recoiled in shock, as did viewers who began bracing themselves for what's coming next. With Sharon in some kind of psychosis related to her meds, she's not likely to sit down with Heather, explain that she was trying to kill Daniel but thought the better of it, and beg for forgiveness. No, there's going to be a confrontation. Heather's had it up to here with Sharon already, so coming home to find her lurking in her apartment is bound to set off some fireworks. We expect the two to have it out and get physical. We already know things will take a dangerous turn, which doesn't bode well for the outcome. It's all but a foregone conclusion that something bad will happen to Heather. The only question, really, is whether she'll end up dead or in a handy-dandy soap opera coma from which she'll eventually emerge with amnesia. Picture it. Heather and Sharon argue, get into tussle, and the attorney falls and bumps her head. She either dies or cannot be revived. Sharon takes out the empty whiskey bottle and puts it beside Heather on the ground. She scatters the glass shards around her body to make it look as though she had an accident while intoxicated, and then slips out. Daniel, who had just picked up Lucy from the club, makes his way home with his daughter, and the two walk in on the absolutely shocking scene. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, September 27, reveal that Sharon Newman will have a heavy burden to carry. After blacking out, finding Heather Stevens' dead body and disposing of it, Sharon will sink to a bleak place. Sharon presumably still won't remember killing Heather, but she'll certainly recall the horror of realizing Heather was deceased and dumping her dead body off the bridge. Those memories will haunt Sharon and keep replaying on a loop in her mind. Cameron Kirsten wants Sharon to just keep her guilt to herself and pretend everything's normal. But how can she possibly do that now? Sharon isn't a monster, so she'll struggle with remorse and wonder how things went so far off the rails. It's clear that Sharon needs mental help, but she'll weep knowing that it's too late for Heather. Sharon will spend some time at Cassie Newman's grave, so she'll have an emotional cemetery meltdown. Will Cassie appear to Sharon while she's there and offer any words of wisdom? Whatever the case, Friday's episode will be a special one since it will mark Sharon Case's 30th anniversary at Y&R. It'll be a Sharon-centric show that includes flashbacks of her Genoa City journey, so Sharon will think back on her past as she also considers her present and future. Once Sharon takes a trip down memory lane, she'll have to figure out what she's going to do next. Will Sharon stick with this cover-up or plan to come clean about this terrible Heather news? It's worth mentioning that there's been some speculation about a funeral being filmed recently due to dark clothing on set. That could involve saying goodbye to Heather if her body isn't found until sometime down the road. Of course, the show has left some wiggle room when it comes to Sharon's guilt, since no one actually saw her kill Heather. If this death is real and not a fake-out, could someone else be to blame in a wild twist? The Y&R the Restless spoilers say plenty of Sharon shockers are still to come, so we'll pass along more predictions on her fate and updates on what her next chapter looks like. The latest spoilers from the Y&R the Restless reveal a gripping and dark moment unfolding between Sharon and Daniel, threatening to push Sharon to the brink of madness. In a dimly lit room, Sharon stands, visibly tormented, clutching a bottle of whiskey laced with poison. Her mind is clouded by haunting memories and the relentless voice of Cameron, driving her toward a dangerous plan that could end in tragedy. Still reeling from past traumas, Sharon blames Daniel for the death of her daughter, Cassie, and her pain has twisted into a desire for revenge. As she stands in Daniel's living room, the gravity of her intentions becomes chillingly clear. Sharon's fantasy is vivid. She sees Daniel's lifeless body sprawled on the floor, and the devastating reaction of Heather and Lucy as they stumble upon the tragic scene. The image of their grief fuels her fury, but it also highlights the depth of Sharon's own torment. As Sharon prepares to pour the poison, the weight of her actions suddenly hits her. She hesitates, her conscience battling against the desire for vengeance. In this critical moment, Sharon is forced to confront the madness driving her and question if murder is truly the justice she seeks or merely a path to self-destruction. The tension is palpable as she struggles between her darkest impulses and a flickering sense of morality. The fight of conscience. Will Sharon go too far? Sharon's emotional turmoil is at a fever pitch, and viewers are left on the edge of their seats, wondering if she will cross the line from victim to villain. The confrontation promises to be explosive, with Heather finding Sharon in Daniel's home, leading to a fight that could have deadly consequences. The question looms, who will survive this twisted dance of revenge, and will Sharon finally see the madness in her actions before it's too late? The spoilers tease that this confrontation could leave a man dead, but Sharon's last-minute realization hints that the outcome might not be as clear-cut as it seems. Will she pull back from the brink, or is the stage set for a tragic turn that could alter the lives of everyone involved? As Sharon grapples with her demons, fans of the Y&R the Restless are in for a shocking storyline that blurs the lines between justice and madness, proving that even the most beloved characters can be pushed to unimaginable extremes. A vigilant fan, going by the username Nadri88, recently exposed a fraudulent Instagram account pretending to be Grossman. The account attempted to engage her with scam messages, a tactic becoming all too familiar in the world of celebrity fandom. Grossman responded swiftly, confirming that he only has one official Instagram and Twitter account, emphasizing that neither he nor his team would ever request personal information or money from his followers. This incident is not an isolated one. Grossman's situation mirrors a similar scam that previously targeted another soap opera star, underscoring a growing issue in the entertainment world. As more fans fall victim to these fake accounts, it becomes increasingly important for followers to stay vigilant and verify the authenticity of the profiles they interact with. Grossman's message serves as a critical reminder to fans. Always double-check the authenticity of a celebrity's social media account before engaging. Look for verification badges, be wary of unsolicited messages, and remember that legitimate accounts will never ask for money or personal details. As the popularity of social media continues to grow, so does the creativity of scammers. Stay informed, stay alert, and don't let the thrill of interacting with your favorite star turn into a costly mistake. Mark Grossman's proactive stance against these scams is a call to action for fans everywhere. Protect yourself, spread the word, and keep the community safe from deceptive schemes. A shocking end to an era. The buzz around Michelle Stafford's departure from The Young and the Restless has left fans in utter disbelief. After playing the iconic character Phyllis Summers for decades, Stafford's exit marks the end of an era for the beloved CBS soap. But of course, nothing in the world of daytime television is as simple as it seems, and Stafford's departure comes with its own set of twists and turns, leaving fans guessing what's really going on behind the scenes. The legacy of Phyllis Summers. To understand the gravity of Stafford's exit, one must first appreciate the character she embodied for so many years. Phyllis Summers wasn't just any soap character. She was a force to be reckoned with, a villain, a heroine, and everything in between. From her early days of manipulation and deceit to her more recent struggles with love and identity, Phyllis has always been at the center of Genoa City's most dramatic storylines. Stirring the pot, rumors and speculations. As news of Stafford's exit began to circulate, so did a whirlwind of rumors. Was this truly the end of Phyllis Summers on Y&R, or was there more to the story? Some sources suggested that Stafford's exit might be temporary, leaving room for a dramatic return in the future. Others speculated that the actress was finally ready to explore new opportunities after nearly 3 decades on the show. But even as these rumors swirled, one thing was clear. Her departure would leave a void that would be difficult to fill. The emotional farewell party. In true soap opera fashion, Michelle Stafford's final days on set were marked by a tearful farewell party. Cast members, crew, and close friends gathered to celebrate her legacy, sharing stories and memories from her time on the show. It was a bittersweet occasion, filled with laughter, tears, and a deep sense of gratitude. Many in attendance spoke of Stafford's unwavering dedication to her craft and her ability to bring Phyllis Summers to life in a way that no one else could. "Michelle has been the heart and soul of this show for so long," said one of her co-stars during the event. "We're going to miss her fiery spirit, but we know she's on to bigger and better things." What's next for Michelle Stafford? While Stafford's departure from Y&R has left fans reeling, it also raises the question, what's next for this talented actress? There's no doubt that her future holds exciting new opportunities. Whether she's planning to take a break or jump into a new project, Stafford's fans will be eagerly watching to see where she goes from here. Given her track record, whatever she chooses to do next is bound to be just as captivating as her time on Y&R. The aftermath in Genoa City. With Phyllis Summers exiting the scene, the landscape of Genoa City is sure to change dramatically. Longtime viewers are left wondering how the show will address her departure and what it means for the characters she's leaving behind. Will there be a new rivalry to take her place, or will her absence create a void that even the most seasoned writers will struggle to fill? One thing is certain. The Young and the Restless will never be the same without Phyllis Summers stirring the pot.